Hello, everybody, and today I'm going to be talking about the players right now that are they're players that were good, but there are certain players that are playing great, but, they're like the top 5 tier, but the players, there's players that weren't some of these weren't even considered the top 10 players in the league, and now are looking like some of the top, becoming the top tier because because it wasn't just October. And it looks like it's not just going to be November for these players. It's going to be the rest of the season as they've still dominated. So the first player I'm going to talk about is David Pastrnak. I've always knew, and I knew there was potential for he could be close to 50. Maybe he could hit 50. And right now the pace he's on pace to potentially since I think it's Brett Hall, I think, or there's a couple back in the day when there was more scoring, and obviously scoring is back now. David Pastrnak could actually hit 50 and 50, and Ovi didn't even do that. And yes, it's probably higher scoring than when Ovi was at his 68 or 65 goal season or whatever. The scoring was definitely not as high as it is now. So, and I think that Ovi probably would have hit 75. He was that good in this game compared to back then. But past and even if he doesn't score 50 and 50, I think there's easily a chance. I think he's probably going to hit around 55, potentially 60 goals this season. He now looks when you think about it, he is now arguably the best scorer in today's game, despite I still think Ovechkin is the best scorer in the game. He might Pasternak might be the guy that just beats everybody, and I think and in my and again, it's not like he's not miles away from everybody. No, because there is tons of Rocket Richard candidates this season. There's there's tons that could have really good runs in the second half, maybe done. And and I don't think Pasternak's going to continue on this ridiculous pace. He's and again, I don't think there's if he continued this pace all season. Again, it's possible, but he could be a 70 goal scorer. It's insane, and I just cannot see him scoring that much. But he has 23 goals in 24 games. That's kind of insane, but I don't see him scoring a goal a game. I can't see him scoring that much. He's gonna slow down, but right now he's not slowing down. There's a couple where he is, and he just got a hat trick in Montreal. So, and again, the hat trick clearly helped. And again, he's not even that much higher than all the other scorers if he doesn't get the hat trick. So I can't see 50 and 50 personally, but it could happen. So move on to the next player. Leon Draisaitl is another goal scorer, and he's scoring goals this year, but he's not just scoring goals. He's the leader in points in the league, and the guy just under him is of course Connor McDavid. The fact he leads Connor McDavid in points shows how good. Again, McDavid's clearly the better player, but Draisaitl is a superstar. Draisaitl has shown, he's pretty much a franchise player. He's not in the generational category because there's only really 2 or 3 guys you can ever put in every era in that category. But that's how good Draisaitl is. Draisaitl is a franchise center. He's a number one center if McDavid's done on the Oilers. Draisaitl is a player that could use. I would run a franchise around Draisaitl. That's how good he is if I didn't have McDavid, because Draisaitl pretty much does everything. And he wants to be a Selke guy one day too. He wants to be that Datsuk, as he's always said. And he is. He is that. He is like a Datsuk as well. He is that good. He does pretty much everything. He leads in points. Yeah, this guy. And it really looks, again, like both these guys are going to hit 100 points. And again, McDavid's season, not a surprise. No one's surprised. And Draisaitl's, honestly, it's not too much of a surprise, but man, he's just been tearing it up this season. I mean, Draisaitl has just been so good. He's just like he is like now like one of the best players in the league by like he's easily a top 10 player now. He's established like Pasternak. I still don't think he's established himself as a top 10 player. Right now, he's one of the best players, but he's not a top 10 player in my opinion. Draisaitl's played so well for for like a few like 16, 17. Like he obviously that was his coming out party, I guess you could say. Technically a breakout 2017 playoffs, because I remember the one playoffs he was in, he was unbelievable and he showed what he could do in the future. That was a showing of what he could do because he was arguably their best forward in that playoffs, and I was blown. Like that's the first time I really saw, could this guy really be scary? 18-19, he scored 50 goals on a team that sucked. That's how good Draisaitl can be. Can he score 50? 100%. Can he get another, like, both these guys for a second straight season can get 100 points? And I don't remember the last time, back-to-back seasons, a team had two 100-point players. This literally could be happening. The Edmonton Oilers have two 100-point, pretty much. And they could also have two 50-goal, McDavid, both could get 50 goals. Like, this team, really, they have two ridiculous, players. Like, these players are insane. Like, without McDavid, I mean, no one's close to Draisaitl, and I mean, there's not many players. I mean, again, not on many teams are many players going to be better on the Draisaitl, but there's really not much depth on the others, so, I mean, that's not saying much, but not on many teams is there going to be players better than Draisaitl. There's not, and again, I can't name many players better than Draisaitl. I really can't. I believe he is better than Pasternak. He's proven longer, in my opinion, that he is this good. Seriously, I never thought I would be saying this at this point, but Matthews is not right now better than Draisaitl. Barkov is not better than Draisaitl. Stamkos is not better than Draisaitl either. He is a good player, but man, Draisaitl is better than Stamkos. Even a guy like Tavares, I would say it's a tie maybe. Draisaitl is so good. He might be better than Tavares. He's that good of a player. Draisaitl is just insane. And again, there's not many players better. Quite honestly. I mean, there's just not many players better than Draisaitl. And it's just insane. You need a player like McDavid pretty much to be better than Draisaitl, which is kind of insane. So yeah, that's what I have to say about Draisaitl. And the last player I want to talk about is John Carlson of the Washington Capitals. Washington has many good players, but I never knew John Carlson would be this good. And he's also not the worst defensively, but again, he can be a reliability. He has been he really has been though so good this season. If he's going to continue this pace, he's the Norris winner. Well, Norris is usually in points. If you can put points up and a good plus minus, you're pretty much winning the Norris. And again, I'm not a fan of the Norris Trophy, but if someone's winning it, I'm not a fan of when Brent Burns wins it because it's you. Because again, I'm not a fan of when he wins it. I'm not a fan of when he wins it because he always just puts up the points and then wins it. He just doesn't really play much defense to win it. Giordano I like because Giordano actually plays defense, so that was acceptable in my opinion. John Carlson, not as good defensively as Giordano was, because John Carlson isn't as good defensively. But John Carlson does play better defense than Burns on most nights, and he plays so many minutes for Washington. And again, Washington, they have Ovechkin and Backstrom and Kuznetsov and all these guys, and again they have pretty good defensemen. They picked up some good defensemen, what did they really get as well? They got improved. Like John Carlson is improving every single season of his career, and this is really showing. This is his breakout year. Like he hasn't had a breakout year, arguably, and I mean, this is the year it looks like he's true. And I mean, he's put up points, and again, people forget he's put up points in seasons, but this no season is close to how good John Carlson has played. And he had an amazing October. People are saying, "Oh well, he's gonna slow down." He ain't. And again, he might be slowing down a bit, but he ain't slowing. Like right now, he ain't slowing down. Like this guy could easily, obviously, hit 70 points. I mean, it's not far off. He could do that. I mean, this guy is playing that well this season. So he's just been insane. I mean, he's up and I mean he's always had a bomb. He's always been pretty good offensively, but this is the best John Carlson I've seen by a mile. It's not even close, really. It's not even close, really. This is the best. This is the best. This is the best John Carlson I've seen by a mile. There's no John Carlson I've seen this good. I mean, if you didn't think they had a chance to win the cup, if John Carlson is this good, there's not many teams that are going to be stopping Washington in the playoffs. Because in the playoffs, they pretty much have everything to win the cup. A defenseman now this good. A defenseman this good. What's going to stop the Caps from really winning the cup in 2020? Not much. So, I mean, this guy, this is scary. I'll tell you, this is one of the defensemen like you do not want. Like this guy is just so good. So John Carlson is one of the crazy. He's one of the guys. Just again, these are three guys I picked that are having massive and again, they're just three big names, three guys that I've really, really been impressed with this season. Like again, these aren't huge surprise. These aren't like shocking surprises that players that were just average and turned into superstars, which I don't really think you can just do that. But I don't really. I could pick tons. Like there's tons of players having massive seasons, but these are just because these are all like these were clearly stars after last season. And Draisaitl was established as a superstar after last season. But I don't think John Carlson yet was a superstar, but he's always a star. He's been a star really for years, at least for 5 years. John Carlson has been a star defenseman, but now he is a superstar defenseman. In my opinion, he has established himself as that. Pasternak's always been a star. This is the first time that he looks like a superstar. Like Pasternak's never been a superstar player. He is now. So that's like these are players that aren't surprises, but really are having massive seasons. Pasternak, ridiculous amount of goals. Draisaitl, leading in points. Like I can't not put him in it. And John Carlson, he's just breaking records for Capitals defensemen in history. And they've had good defensemen. I mean, they've had good star defensemen. Like this guy is just insane. He's breaking and it's not just Caps records. He's breaking he's just putting up all these records. I mean, it's just insane. So these are guys that are just massive seasons. And again, I could have picked so many players, but these are three players that are just playing amazing this season. And I can't not put them on it. And so thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. Talk to you all later in the next video.